Okay.
Welcome to Bihar Development Dialogue organized by Bihar Connect. Today we have with us Mr. Ravi Chand. He is an international higher education leader and he has been doing a lot of work for the welfare of Bihari community, basically based in Gulf. Overall also for Indian, he is always there to help. And during this Corona time, he has been actively involved in helping the needy in Bihar. He has been sending a lot of relief material all the way from Dubai to different districts in Bihar. He has touched in Ara, Gopalganj, Nalanda. So Raviji, welcome to the discussion. This is basically a development dialogue and what you have been doing. I just want to highlight that. So I would like to begin with what you have been doing because this is an unprecedented crisis all over and Bihar being a poor state has been badly hit. So I would like to start with the activities that you are taking for the welfare of Bihari here.
Yeah. Thank you, Gyanandraji. First, I would like to thank you for this initiative that you have taken about the BiharConnect.in and about the vision that you have to work as a think tank and to collaborate with like-minded people for the development of Bihar. So I was very happy to see that. And yes, as you have mentioned that what we have been doing is that the first thing that I and my team, and with my team means the people from Bihar who are living outside, India, the NRIs, you can say that, is that the one thing that we don't do is that we don't blame the government or we don't blame the system. So I would like to explain that first rather than saying that, what do we do? So what is important here is to come forward and contribute in whatever way we can contribute for this pandemic that has come, and you rightly said that was unprecedented. So we'll have get time in future to evaluate what the administration did, what the government did. But right now, the need of the hour we understood is to provide the solution to the government and to the people, to the frontline workers. So realizing this, we came about the news of the second wave that there is some shortage of the equipment related to oxygen in India. And that equipment related with cylinders, with oxygen concentrators, and the flow meters. So I saw the media report in the local newspapers of Bihar when I was going through and came to know that even if there are gas cylinders and oxygen cylinders available, but the flow meters are not selling in black. So I picked up the phone and spoke to the district magistrate of Ara, Roshan Kuswaha, and asked him, and he said that yes, that there is a scarcity and we are not able to utilize the oxygen cylinders and optimize it because of the lack of the small machine, which is the flow meter. So we procured that in Dubai and sent it overnight. Here, the administration was very prompt because I found out a person to carry it with him to Lucknow airport, and that was supposed to be, transferred from Lucknow to Ara. So the administration was very proactive. And then we realized that why don't we reach out to the other, districts. So I collaborated with the district administration and magistrate of Rohtas, and then Buxar, and then Gopalganj, and then Nalanda. So it started all about early, May, when there was a scarcity of equipments. In the later phase, we realized that there is a need to work on the impact of COVID. So there are a lot of people who have passed away. There have been multiple deaths in the family. So we were passionate about them, and we made sure that we get the list from the administration. This is what we did in Nalanda. And we came out with a list of 48 people who passed away. That was the official figure. We contacted each and every one and identified and shortlisted 25 families that need immediate support. So we contributed 2 months ration to them. We got it delivered in their place. And the very important part is that all these people need to be not just given 2 months of ration. They need a support for a longer period of time because the impact is very high. So we have assigned few NRIs from that particular town with these families so that, they can exchange their phone number and then they can connect and talk to each other for any kind of support, not just the monetary support. And we also understood, let me tell you that I also run an organization called AmbedkarGlobal.com. So this is an organization that works globally to spread the messages of Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. There is, when I was in the school, I heard that, Dr. Ambedkar was a leader for Dalits. And this is what I found out is the impression that is there in abroad. So I would like to contribute to correct this, that he was a leader for the overall, Indian society and, even the world society, the world leader, not just limited to a particular community. So doing a little bit of that in whatever capacity we can do. And that inspires us also to work with the Indian laborers who are based in UAE. So there are about 300,000 laborers from India who work in UAE, and actually about 500,000 who work in the Gulf. So they need some kind of a support. So our organization extends the support in terms of any legal issues, in expatriation, and things like that. So coming back to the COVID thing, we also identified key other stakeholders, which was in line with our thought process and philosophy of Ambedkar.com. And these stakeholders were the frontline workers that not just included the medical people, like nurses and all. We thought that there are extended frontline workers, which are journalists, for example, our police officers and the Jawans. They are also exposed. At the same time, we also realized that the Nagar Nigam employees, the people who are sweepers and cleaners in the hospitals, so they are also exposed, as well as the people who do the last rites of the dead people. So for all these four communities, we thought, and we have sent oxygen concentrators to Bihar Police Academy in Rajgir, and some oxygen oximeters and masks. At the same time, we have provided the PPE kit for the Nagar Nigam employees who are into the cleaning and safai. So for safai karamcharis through the mayor of Ara, Bhojpur district, and we have sent PPE kits for the the Dome community in India, which is involved in the final rites. So we wanted not them to be exposed. For the media and for journalists also, them being a front line, we have contributed to the president of the media organization in Patna. So we have sent an oxygen concentrator as well as oximeters and some flow meters and masks.
You interacted with the bureaucrats, you said collectors, mayors, officials. So what was your experience of handling of the situation by these people, by the bureaucrats, because there has been a lot of criticism about that. Obviously, the pressure was a lot. But how do you see that? What was their response? Was they proactive and or just like you want to come and how are you? What is your impression about their response from the bureaucracy basically during that time when you come forward to help?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good question. I like this, and that's very relevant. So to my surprise, the experience with all these stakeholders, the bureaucracy and even the mayors who are, elected representatives, has been extremely great. First, they were very appreciative of the efforts. So let me tell you that for the first district, Ara, it was proactively us, me, myself, and my team who approached the district administration and they were really touched, and they made sure that all the items are well received, and they were not shy. So I was thinking, and I was prejudiced that they may feel that, that why should they accept anything from outside when the government already has a fund. So they were not shy. So they responded to the need of our and anybody who is coming forward. They were very willing to support that. And that was really, I appreciate, and they appreciated our efforts as well. The same thing with the mayor of Ara, spoke to Mrs. Tiwari, and she was really touched when we said that, we want the PPE kits to be given to the Safai Karamcharis and for the people who do the last rites. And they ensured that this reaches, they distributed it, and they sent the video clips and the photographs. Yes, in some districts, like in Buxar, after hearing the news in media that we have distributed, so I was contacted by the SDM of Buxar and Dumrao that, I also belong to Buxar district. That's where my paternal, my grandfather lives. So that proactively they approached me, and we sent the relief material to them, and they were very happy and appreciative. The third district, Rohtas, also I had a great experience. Gopalganj was a great experience with, Dr. Chaudhary. So he was very happy, and he talked to me about my initiatives. And then the fifth district was Nalanda. So here I spoke to Dr. Y. Singh, who happened to be my junior also in JNU. He said that, we don't have any requirement for any oxygen-related equipment now. The government of Bihar, as well as the crisis itself, has settled to some extent. However, he suggested that, there is a police training academy in nearby in Rajgir. So if we can provide something for them, as well as he suggested if we can do directly for the people who are impacted. So the response was good. And yeah, I will say that all the administration and the stakeholders were sensible.
So you see a perceptible change, because when in the past I used to interact with people, okay, I want to support, I want to help, but I don't know whether that help is going to the needy people or not. And bureaucracy is always kind of hurdle in that when somebody wants to help. So that you see that a good change in the bureaucracy attitude towards the people, you can just come and help. So that kind of help is welcome, you are finding, right?
Yeah, I don't have the previous experience you might have being, journalist. But yeah, I have heard about the red tapeism. And there could be two regions in the past that I can think of. In present, I did not have any problem for sure. In the past, there might be a problem because the donors who give anything, so there could be a logistics issue and the work and the paperwork that maybe, the government has come out with. I'm not too sure. So that could be a deterrent. But I think that the government and the civil servants have a lot of flexibility these days, and that comes from the top. So probably that's one of the reason that there is a change, because it's basically change of doing business. So even accepting a support, maybe there were some barriers of bureaucracy in the past that it has to be accounted and audited. So, and it might have required some additional tasks to the government. So that kind of flexibility I can definitely see that I was expecting it was not there. And, they were very prompt and never asked me to sign any papers or do anything for that sort. So that was welcome. And another reason could be that, they accepted and, encouraged me to support more, probably because I did not have any expectation from their side. So that could be one of the deterrent in the past. So I'm not too sure, but maybe the administration will think that why and who is giving and what is the real idea behind giving. So probably when they are convinced that the donation is coming for the right cause and from the right people, then probably they will welcome it.
lot of Bihar, people from Bihar are there, and you have been interacting with them. So, how was the situation there? The people, the workers, basically, those who are involved in construction and all, they have been subjected to exploitation and at least not very good situation. So, how was your feeling when they were stuck there and there were lockdowns, flights were closed? So, how did you help them?
Yeah, so that situation was more last year in the first wave, what you call, around April, May, and June. There were no flights between India and UAE. So Indian government had suspended all the flights last year. So that resulted in a lot of backlogs in terms of the passengers who wanted to go. So government of India came out with Vande Bharat mission, but the number of flights were very limited, and most of them were going to south of India. So that's where majority of the workers are from. However, there is a significant number of workers from Bihar and from UP. So realizing that, my organization Ambedkar.com, so I saw news that one rich person from Dubai went to Mumbai in a chartered flight to perform the final rites for his father. So then I asked the embassy and other people that is it allowed that we can go in a private flight because the flights are not operating.
Okay.
He said that yes, as long as it's a chartered flight, after taking the approval from airport authorities in India, DGCA, as well as the Home Secretary of the respective state, and taking a clearance from the embassy in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi, one can send the chartered flights. So that idea popped in, and then we spoke with Indigo and with Go Air, and we were able to rope in 30 flights between Gaya and Banaras. So about 6,000 workers who were stranded were sent back. So I had also seen that people are walking from Mumbai to Bihar and to other places.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the workers from Gulf cannot walk because there is a sea in between. So the only way we could do was to fly them back. And it was very easy. It was just a matter of talking to few stakeholders, taking all the approvals, and then to send them. There were community people here who were ready to support financially, which was not an issue. And one of the reasons that they were stranded here was basically there were no jobs for them. Many of them were terminated in between because they finished their contract.
Yeah. So, and what is the plan? Because this, sustainable solution, because these are the immediate relief which was required, and you have been, your job have, what initiative have really helped a lot of people. So what is your plan, future plan to help them in sustainable development of Bihar? At least for the people that you are involved with.
Yeah. So in terms of in terms of myself, my contribution, as well as the contribution of the organization that I'm heading, which is ambedkarglobal.com. So we play a small role, and we have a vision in 2-3 aspects. One of them is to work in the field of creating job opportunities for people from Bihar to outside India, which is mainly in Gulf countries and in some other countries. You might have heard that many of the Bihari laborers or Bihari workers, including the ITI degree holders, they go to Kerala or they go to Punjab to work. And in turn, wherever they work, their landlords or their owners, they do the same job and they go to Dubai or they go to Saudi Arabia or to Canada. So I was speaking to the Honorable Minister for Labor, Mr. Jivesh Misra in Bihar, when I visited last year in December. And then he also had a vision to create the job opportunities for them. I said that instead of sending these laborers or blue collar jobs or even white collar jobs going to Delhi or Chandigarh, why can't they directly go to Dubai? So I'm working with I have made some proposal to the Labor Ministry in Bihar to collaborate in order to increase the capability of Bihari people and workers in order to get the job in abroad. So that is one. And for the laborers who are already here, there are few challenges. So we are already addressing that. So we are working in the long term. And regarding the sustainability of the impact of the COVID, as I mentioned already, that those families who are impacted in the particular cities, we are shortlisting as per our capacity, and we are assigning it to the NRIs to take care of them for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in future.
Okay, that's
So this is
really, Mr. Ravichand, thank you so much for joining the conversation, and this is going to be really helpful, and people who are living outside feeling emotionally attached, and people here also appreciate a lot what you are seeing, what we have been reading in the newspapers, and all the best for your initiatives that you are taking, and it will help in long-term solution to the miseries that COVID has caused. So thank you very much for joining the Bihar Development Agency.
Thank you. Thank you as well for inviting me for this. Thanks.
We look forward to speaking again. Yeah.
Sure, definitely.